I have always wanted to spray paint my own bike. It's a great way of personalising it and bringing it some new life, but I've always been a bit scared. It's a big job spray painting a bike, but over lockdown you guys have submitted some great upgrades of bikes you've sprayed, and you've inspired me, so I'm going to give it a go. I've never done this before and I'm going to need some professional guidance, and who better than Ali and Bex from Fatcreations. Now, you might already follow them on Instagram. It's definitely one of my favourite Instagram accounts to follow. So let's go meet them in their workshop, and I think I'm in the right place. Look how beautiful these are. Hi, thanks for having us.
That's all right, you're very welcome.
Cool.
I guess we better show you around.
Ali and Bex's workshop is a treasure trove of stunning custom frames. So as you know, I'm doing a DIY spray paint on one of my old bikes, and obviously I have to do it myself, and DIY, I won't have any of these fancy gadgets. I was just wondering if you have any tips for me on how to make it maybe half as good as your bikes.
Yeah, of course. What frame is it? Let's have a look, see what you've got.
So this is the bike I want to transform. Where do I start? I'm guessing I'm going to need to sand it all down, get the paint off.
If you've got a steel or an aluminium frame like this and it's not corroded, find a local blaster. You know, they use a fine sand on it so it won't damage the aluminium too much. It'll literally just give you the perfect key for the paint to stick on. And trust me, if you've ever spent a day trying to get the paint off a bike, the cost of £30 to £35 to get this looking like raw out of the factory is a cost you'll be well happy you've spent. There's a few things we need to do though. When you blast something, the paint will come off in a fairly uniform manner, but if there's any of these stickers on here, any of these quite thick stickers, the blast doesn't go through it very well. This absorbs the energy of the fine particles, and so what you end up with, it'll go in the end, but you'll end up with a ridge around here where this part of the aluminium's protruded. So what we'll do is we'll scrape off any of these surface stickers before we take it down to the blaster, and you'll be left with a much smoother finish when you get it back. Cool.
So as my forks did have carbon in them, I wasn't able to get them blasted, so gonna have to sand them down myself. Ali would normally strip it down to bare carbon, but for this project it's gonna be fine just to take the shine and the logos off, just to smooth it down. And then we're gonna go over it with a 320 before priming. After prep, the frame was ready to be blasted. We're here at Penfold Metallising Company, where I'm going to get my frame sandblasted, ready to be painted. So let's go find Jed and see what the sandblasting is all about. Here's my lovely frame. So the frame all blasted down, and that took about 15 minutes and a lot better job than I'd have done sanding it myself. So I'm really happy I got that done, and now it's time for the fun part. So the frame is all prepped. It's now time for the hard bit, choosing the colour. That's all I know is I want something a little bit different, a little bit sparkly maybe.
Okay, well I've got some colours out. Have a look and see what you think.
Are kind of changing and like quite chromy. Is that going to be possible with an aerosol?
These two, you can do both of those with an aerosol, that's not a problem. So
take those two out, down to these two.
The hard decision. So this is a 2-colour change. So a lot of bike manufacturers are using this paint now, and so this is a switch from blue to purple, whereas this has 5 colour tones to it. So this is a bit more spectacular than this.
Yeah, I think I'm going towards this one. I think I'm going to go this one. I really like that one.
Yeah.
So I've chosen my colour, but what am I going to need to make this happen?
For around the £100 mark, you can get everything you need. So first thing you need is a primer. You can get that. You can get all of this in aerosol form. And then with this colour, you have to paint the bike black first. So this colour relies on a nice black base coat. So you have a can of black, and then this colour itself is chroma coat green. That goes over the black base coat and gives you that effect. And then what I would recommend is a 2K clear coat. So it's a lacquer, but this is 2K. So you mix two different chemicals together. It's an epoxy type lacquer. The only thing with a 2K lacquer is it does have some nasty ingredients in, so you really have to wear a mask, at least a good charcoal mask, and do it outside. You could do it in a garage, but unless you've got a really good fan sucking out the fumes, it's not worth it. Wait for the right day, do it outside in a well-ventilated area. You can get 1K lacquer. The health risks are much lower with that, nothing to worry about really. But for longevity, 2K is the way to go. While you're here, we'll get Becky to show you how to paint, and it will give you some idea of what to expect when you use the aerosols. It won't be exactly the same, but it'll give you a good idea.
Yeah, that would be amazing, please. I've never really sprayed anything with aerosol before, so it'll be interesting.
Perfect.
So to avoid getting primer in areas that we don't want, we want to mask it up. So I've got some masking tape here, and I'm going to do the head tube, the seat tube and the bottom bracket, but we've got some bungs in the bottom bracket, but you can mask that up if you don't have bungs.
So when it comes to painting your frame, what you want to do with a gun as well as with an aerosol can is when you come to do it, you have in your mind what bits you're going to paint first. And we'll always come off the end unless you have good trigger control, which is very difficult with an aerosol can. So I would suggest you come right off the end so then you don't get a concentrated bit of paint which could then cause a run. As we're working with a 2K primer today, I would suggest you wear this mask. It's got an air feed and it will feed you fresh air rather than breathing in the vapour and getting that stuff in your lungs. It's not very nice.
I started by practicing on some paper to really get the feel for it. It's now time for the real thing. I'm going to try priming my forks. Let's go.
Okay, turn them again. And again.
After the forks were done, with no major error, I moved on to the frame, doing 2 coats of primer on each. So that's my bike all primed and ready for the next stage. Thank you so much, guys, for helping me out today and having us in your amazing workshop.
You're very welcome.
Got any more tips?
Be patient.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, patience is a huge thing, and well done. Primer went really well.
Yeah, so that's promising for the paint. So yeah,
Good luck.
Thank you very much. I'm now left to my own devices, and I'm going to start off by wet sanding the frame down with 600 grit sandpaper, some warm soapy water. I'm just going to go all over the frame and the forks to get rid of any imperfections, but it's pretty perfect anyway. So you're not looking to do anything crazy with this, just focus on getting a nice smooth surface, and if there is any little bumps from the dry primer, just focus on those. So I've sanded the frame all down, and as you can see there's quite a lot of paint residue left on the frame, so I'm going to need to wipe that off. So first off I'm going to just have some plain water and a cloth and wipe it all down. Then after that I'm going to go in with this pre-paint wipe just to get it extra clean, and then it's time for the base coat. Ali also gave me these stickers, and these stickers are going to go on the head tube, the bottom bracket, on the seat stays, on the little brake caliper, and some on the forks as well, just to go everywhere that I just don't want to get any paint. So stickers are all on and it's ready for the base black coat. When you are using aerosols like this, it's quite important to wear a mask, so I've got a very trendy mask here, but once I get the mask on you won't really be able to hear me, so I'm just going to crack on. So wish me luck, and hopefully I won't mess it up. So the base coat is all done. I think I've managed to get it pretty much everywhere on the frame. Now we're just going to take it inside because it is quite cold outside, so a little bit warmer for it to dry. So after yesterday's first base black coat, I did a second coat and then I brought it inside to the warm to let it dry overnight, and it's come out pretty nicely. I'm pretty happy with that. So today I'm going to go in with a pre-paint wipe, give it a wipe over, and then I'm going to stick these stencils on that Bex at Fat Creations kindly made me. I've got some Welsh dragons and my initials. I'm Welsh. I'm going to stick 2 on the forks and then 2 on the seat tube, and then maybe my initials on the down tube. I'm not quite sure, haven't made my mind up yet, but hopefully I will in a minute. So yeah, let's get to it. So my stickers are on. I've just brought it outside to my little DIY paint booth, and now it's time for the main attraction, the colour. So quite nervous for this, but we'll see. Oh my God, look at it. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. But this is exactly the colour I wanted. So I've put 2 coats of colour onto the bike now and let it dry for around 20 minutes, and it is looking fabulous. Now for the very tricky part of trying to take the stickers off without chipping or damaging the frame. So I've got this little tiny little tool that I'm just going to nip the sticker with, and then hopefully it'll all peel off. So the stickers are off, the paint is dry, and it is now time for the clear coat. This is actually the hardest part, Ali said, so hopefully I won't mess this up, but I am so happy with it. It looks very beautiful, I have to say. It is looking beautiful, swanky. It looks delicious, delicious. So that's 3 coats done. Now I'm going to take it inside to dry for about 24 hours. And here it is. Pretty impressive, I do have to say so myself. At the start of this custom paint project, I never thought I'd be left with something like this, but a massive thank you to Bex and Ali for chatting me through it. There was quite a few phone calls when I was painting it myself, just to double check I was doing it correctly, but it took me around 3 days to do, but that wasn't a full 3 days of work. There was a lot of waiting around, waiting for the paint to dry. And altogether, I think all the aerosols cost me around £80, so not too expensive. If you do have an old frame lying around, I would definitely recommend doing a little custom paint job on it because it's a very enjoyable thing to do. If you do want some tips from the experts themselves and not this amateur, then head over to Bex and Ali's YouTube channel that they've just set up, Fatcreations Custom Paint, where they go into a lot more detail about custom paint. But if you did enjoy this video and you do like my bike, then please give this video a big thumbs up and let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below.